Hi guys, welcome back. All right, Sagittarians, let's go ahead and take a look at a no contact situation and see what's going on from their perspective. We have Page of Wands, we have Page of Swords. So a couple pages rocking out here. This is somebody who's trying to either still figure out what happened, or they're doing some spying and they're kind of holding themselves back. I feel like this person maybe has a peace offering, or they'd like to heal this situation. They certainly have a desire to heal things, but they might still be, moving pretty slow on this. They're looking at this as a marathon, not a sprint. And maybe they're right. Maybe this is going to take some significant time to get things smoothed out and worked out. We have a Page of Pentacles upright as well. Okay, so Page of Pentacles energy is, we've got all three pages and a knight. We know they're not ready to make a big move, right? These are all minor arcana but court cards at least, right? We're not into the majors though, but they're court cards. So that's good at least, right? It means it's heavy on their mind, even if there's not definitive action. There's question marks about what to do, and they're hoping that they're going to figure it out as the time passes. Three of Swords. They're hurting pretty badly about this. They're feeling, I would say, like their world is shades of, blues and purples right now, just like all of those deeper, more intense feelings, but also blue is a color of wisdom, and the purple indigo family, has to do with like sometimes third eye and crown chakra. So to me, this feel, and throat chakra, of course, is blue, but I'm wondering if they're trying to find words for how they feel. Four of Wands. Okay, so there is a gaping hole for them right now without Sag. There is, this could be a same-sex couple. All the stories always could be, or could be reverse gender roles. We've seen them show up as masculines, feminines. Any way we say it, they are yearning for Sag, and they know that once upon a time, at least, Sag yearned for them as well. They might be really missing Sag, but they could also be feeling that pull. They might be really like submerged in Saggy's energy right now. I will say, sorry, I have to bend my big head. I chose this backdrop for this week because, well, I thought it was really pretty, but also because I liked the fact that these two, we can see two people that are kind of like, connected, obviously, in the subconscious, the back of the mind. And it almost feels as if they are imagining, like they may be thinking about kissing Sag. They might be really longing for that right now, but they may be thinking that they're picking up on Saggy's energy as well, like, or hoping that they're picking up on Saggy's energy, like, don't you miss me? Don't you wish you could kiss me too? That kind of energy is here. There's a profound longing, even though they still don't know how to get this thing back on track. How do you look at Sag? Experience of spirit. And then we've got the Six of Thoughts. So a Six of Cups is, our soulmate energy. And this is actually the Knight of Swords. They look at Sag as somebody who got in under their skin really quick, really easy. It's like, I've never fallen for somebody this swiftly. I never felt such a pull. If they feel like Sag was a soulmate, it's almost like they were kind of like drowning in Saggy's eyes or something. This really feels like they very quickly just knew Sag was somebody so important to them. We have the Ten of Cups. This is very unique. Giraffes, their markings are as unique as our own fingerprints. Each giraffe's markings are different from one another. And this just says that, and even here we have this beautiful couple sitting here looking at the giraffes going, we are two very unique souls who match each other, like hand in glove. We immediately, I knew this is somebody I could have happily ever after with. Okay, then wait a second. What happened? It feels like this person is so head over heels. So head over heels. By the way, this always This looks like Julian Casablancas, from the Strokes and the Voids. So I always like all kinds of Strokes music, and Voids music always filters into my head every time I see this, and it's just I don't know. There's this like very heartfelt like music and a sensitivity, and music is such a like it elicits so much emotion. Um, but I don't know if somebody likes those particular bands. We have a Four of Pentacles. I said, what happened? Why is there this silence then when it was so good? And it says somebody maybe hoarded their energy a bit, or somebody was like, not somebody, let's be honest, it looks like it's probably them. Um, they either pulled back their energy and they kind of rolled around in the mud a little bit and said, I'm not gonna share. Maybe they were in a bad mood. Maybe they kind of drove themselves down into the mud. Two of Thoughts. That's a Two of the Swords. I don't even know if they know why they did this. We got this little marsupial here, and so it makes me think that this person, I don't know if they tend to withdraw into the night. They tend to decide, even if something's going well, they get sidetracked by other things that have bothered them in life, and then they just kind of withdraw, maybe. Or we have again another two. This time the Two of Wands. Okay, so there's an awful lot of indecisiveness. I don't know why this person would have totally withdrawn, said, I don't know where I want to go. I don't know if I want to do this. I want to push away a relationship. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I don't know if they started to just like freak out a little bit in the back of their mind. Do you know why you did this? Because it definitely seems like they got all freaked out. Integration of somatics. So King of Pentacles. I'm not going to say that that makes sense to me, but they kind of freaked out. Maybe with the seriousness of what this connection meant. I mean, come on, they said right out of the gate, they're like, oh my God, this is a soulmate. This is my 10 of Cups. Sag is my person. I know it. This happened really fast. I really want them. And then it's like panic set in, and they wanted to pull back, and they want to say, no, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. I mean, my God, I'd be in this long-term commitment, and it would be, I'm supposed to be this stable person. I don't know enough about the world yet. How am I supposed to be in this stable long-term commitment when, I don't know, it almost makes me think, did they not feel like they were grown up yet? And they're like, what am I doing? I can't play the role of a grown up. I'm not a grown up yet. Experience of Thoughts. I definitely just keep thinking everything came on way too fast for them. And then they panicked. Their emotions were this huge surge. Everything about this was overwhelming because it was so much, and it was so soon, and it was, I mean, on one hand wonderful, but on the other hand it was so much energy for them to feel and experience, all at once. So I do think that they panicked is what we're seeing here, and then decided to back out of a connection altogether. And yet here they are saying, I spy and I want to fix things, but I also know I'm not sure how to come forward and say all that. Let me ask a better question. Are you ready for that? Because if you weren't ready before, how is it that you're ready now? Three of Cups is they're definitely saying, I want to interact. But the Seven of Swords says, yeah, but it might not be true. The reason I went one more time on a shuffle is because the Three of Cups is like, yes, I'm ready to interact and have like a joyful, fun, basically maybe they want to go back to what they already were experiencing with Sag, which could have been, oh man, we have so much fun together. It's so sweet, and we enjoy each other's company, and it's lovely, and it's lighthearted. It's, dating and stuff. But as soon as it gets more serious, they're like, oh, but yeah, I still need it to be lighthearted. I'm lying to myself if I think I'm truly ready for a long-term commitment. Can I just ask at a foundational level, and let's ask the universe this, what's the big thing, universe, since we're looking at the cosmos out here, what's the big thing that really Is it the heart of them saying, I'm not ready, I'm not ready? Two of Wands, the universe is like, they're not ready. Two of Wands is they're standing at a crossroads. They're indecisive still. Ten of Pentacles. They might be indecisive about whether or not they feel like they can be in a connection where they can be the other half of something that meaningful, or maybe they're indecisive about the idea that somebody would want to stay permanently with them. Seven of Pentacles, Temperance. I mean, plain and simple, the universe is like, they're still at a crossroads. They see where the Ten of Pentacles is, but they have to grow into that comfort zone. I don't even get this though. Why does it feel like, they're running away? I seriously doubt Sag was off chasing them, saying, come here, let's hurry up and go get married. Let's do this. I'm ready. I doubt Sag was out there chasing them in any way, shape, or form. Let's just see Sag's side of this. Sag is like Page of Wands. It was fun. It was great. Started out like with some passion. I was drawn to this person. It was interesting. It was spicy. Honestly, with the Star card, they did kind of tick all my boxes. They were somebody I was pretty excited. They seemed pretty great. Six of Swords in the reverse. But even if Sag was like, they seemed really great, but Sag read them like a book. Sag is like, oh, but they were definitely not like whole. I mean, I see the potential in them. I see them as a star. I see them as a wish fulfillment, but they're clearly not ready to like bring it on home. They're somehow still out on choppy waters, and they need to get themselves settled. I don't know, Sag, were you hoping to help them with that? Or is Sag just like, no, it wasn't my thing. I was giving them space. Ten of Cups sideways. Sag is like, if they had wanted me to, I would have been that person that would like be a grounding influence. I could tell something still bothers them. They're still living in choppy waters. Sag, what did you think their choppy waters were all about? Seven of Cups in the reverse. It's like this person has this ingrained belief system that they can't have certain choices in their life, or that if you get into a relationship, then you lose all autonomy and you'll have no more choices. And that they may have a very negative view of long-term partnership or even serious partnership, which is so ironic because they're like, oh, this is my happiness, but oh no, I can't have it. I don't know. This feels more like because of that little pig pen picture, that we saw with the Two of Pentacles, and then followed up by the Two of Swords, and then the Two of Wands. Everything was so indecisive with this person. But I think maybe they even have like a superstition that just when I find something that I want, it's going to be taken away from me. And I'm just sure of that. Sag might have been like, look, I can read this person like a book, and they are so stressy all the time. Instead of just getting balanced, could I have had a Ten of Cups with them? Yeah, maybe, but they seem to be pretty hell-bent on, like, they really believe that somehow there's no way happiness can really be theirs. I almost feel like this person takes good things and makes sure that they push it out of reach and says, see, once again, proves my point. You can't ever have happiness. Maybe it does feel like, it feels like a superstition. That sounds so crazy to say, but it feels like a superstition. Or maybe this person, I don't know, instead of getting grounded and realistic about things, which is what Sag seems like they need to do, like, look, if they just kind of settled down and grounded themselves and looked at this logically. The Queen of Pentacles is great about being logical. I kind of think Sag says this person's a bit of a fatalist. They look at everything as the worst case scenario, as any kind of happiness will probably not really work out. And if they really bought into that, I mean, then they make their own unhappiness, which we saw them with the Three of Swords. It's like they create self-fulfilling prophecies by making sure that when they have something they really want, they say, but it'll all go to hell in a handbasket any old minute now. And then I can sit, once I push my Sag away, my Ten of Cups away, then I sit down and I cry and I say, see, I knew I'd be brokenhearted. The thing is, they're starting to realize that they did this, right? They are starting to realize this because they're already thinking about, slowly but surely, as I spy, as I want to heal things, as I slowly but surely am realizing I don't know exactly what to say, but I really still want this. And I'm really broken up over it. But I'm the one who created the breakup. This person, I don't know why they did this. I really don't. Other than they sabotage happiness to then prove their prophecy is correct, which is not, there's no such thing as a prophecy. We human beings have free will. We make things happen. There's not a prophecy, there's free will. In my opinion, we do things. And the sooner we take responsibility for the stuff that we do and the outcomes that we create through our actions, the more we can be held accountable. And also, the more we'll be inspired to make better choices, instead of like, oh, it's destined. I don't know. I believe in free will. So, and responsibility for actions, just because honestly, that gives us the greatest power to choose who we want to be and choose what things we want to do with our life. And like I said, that's a greater inspiration in my mind. That's a happier perspective. But I actually do believe that. This seems to be a character who didn't. And that's fine. Everybody can believe what they want. But right now, we don't see a character who's getting happiness because they wanted to believe in something negative, and so therefore then they make that come true. Eight of Pentacles, they have some work to do. They really do have pretty big work to do with that Eight of Pentacles. Sag, what's the final message just in this? The Devil. It might be really tempting for Sag to still be like, I so want to help them, or I feel like I'm still so connected to them. But it could also just be that Sag is recognizing, look, I'm not going to get pulled into their toxic pattern. I don't want to do the makeup and breakup. I really want them to work on the things that they need to get themselves sorted out, so that then we don't have this toxic pattern. Let's get on to having a great relationship. So this is going to be time well spent in no contact, because they need to miss me enough to make some changes to choose to be, in a relationship. Otherwise, it's always just going to be toxic. It's going to be the makeup and breakup, makeup and breakup. They sabotage and run off and come back, and when they miss me, and sabotage and run off again. So I feel like Sag is like, let's break this pattern. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Thanks so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.